nice. I wouldn't have to break all your toys.
Gotcha.
Hello everybody, MegaZardX here, back at it again to give y'all another very exciting collection reflection video where I take the time out to just go through my whole entire gaming library. Could be a game, could be a console, could be a limited edition, but today we're going to be talking about none other than Sonic Unleashed, because I already talked about Sonic Adventure 2 as one of my collection reflection videos. So you knew the second game I got to talk about was my boy over here, Sonic Unleashed, though, because I think between them two games, I think those, in my honest opinion, are some of my most favorite and most fond Sonic games, especially within the 3D landscape, though, because I got some things to say about this, though. Now, say what you will about this game, though, with the nighttime levels, though, I love the heck out of those, along with some of the daytime levels, because those are some of the best and most well-crafted Sonic 3D levels that you're ever going to see in the series franchise history. I'm just going to leave that point blank and period, though. So in today, I'm just going to give all my thoughts and reflections on this game, though, because it is definitely one game in the Sonic series I hold very close. But if you hadn't already done so, make sure you go and hit that like button, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and that bell to stay up to date on all things video game related I feel like talking about and discussing. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight up into this video. Sonic Unleashed is a very unique and outstanding game within the Sonic series, though, because I think this game definitely set the tone from the very beginning with that introduction of this cutscene, though, because I can't say how many times I've seen cutscenes in some Sonic games. Some of them look okay, some of them look kind of jagged at best and stuff, though, but the trailer that I got, or at least that introduction scene, and this is, mind you, I was playing this back in the day on the Wii, though, but even then on the Wii, that cutscene was the stuff. Like, that's how you knew some stuff was about to go down in this game. That was some bad crap was going to happen to Sonic, and he was going to have to find a way to flip the script up on this story, though, in order not just to stop Eggman, but like a whole entire being that's called Dark Gaia that literally lives in the Earth itself, literally split up the whole entire world into like major continents with, you know, the landmass and the sea, and just spread that out from the actual core itself, though. Like you could literally fall off the side of the earth and land straight into the middle of the core of the earth itself. Like I think at the time this felt like probably the highest stakes that maybe Sonic might have had in any of his games up until this point, or at least for me personally, from the games I happen to play up until this point. And man, oh man, I love the heck out of this game, though. Now, I am talking about all my experiences for this one video is based on the Wii version. I know the Wii version is a little bit different from the PlayStation or the Xbox versions that they might have had, though. But I'll say a little bit more about that a little later on in the video, though. But man, you know, there's the tale of two halves with this game. There's the daytime levels and there's the nighttime levels. So let's go ahead and talk about the daytime levels first. So I know a lot of people probably want to hear about that. So in terms of these daytime levels, man, oh man, for the most part, I feel like in most of Sonic's games, sometimes Sonic goes a little too fast for his own good. Not in the 2D, but in the 3D games, sometimes Sonic goes too fast for his own good. I see a lot of different people speedrunning and stuff. I know speedrunning, you're supposed to go through it as fast as possible, though, but sometimes I feel like people just run through the games. They're not trying to speedrun it, though, but it feels like they're going through a lot of different sections of the game, where it's like there was a lot more to see and to do and stuff like that, versus the way how some people just naturally blast on it. And I'm just talking about just on their like first original run or whatever, though. And, you know, obviously they, you know, Sonic Team was playing around with the boost formula and stuff, and even up until this day, though, but I think the boost formula was done perfectly well within this one game right here. Obviously, you go through and collect some rings and stuff that charges up a little meter in your bottom left corner of your screen, and obviously once you have enough bars of it, though, I think in the Wii you were able to shake your Wii remote or something like that and get Sonic really going at high speeds. Now, these levels they weren't quick where you're able to go through them within like a minute or two at best. No, some of these levels out here, they took about like maybe 5, sometimes 6 different minutes or something like that for you to be able to go from start to finish. And that's if you're trying to do the whole entire level in its entirety. I'm not talking about the sections that are like split up for some of the missions that you got with some of those medals. But no, you were able to go from start to finish, and it felt like you were able to do this all in about 5 minutes. It felt like a very thorough experience. Like, yes, Sonic was going fast, and I love the drifting mechanic under this game. I say bring that mess back in some future games. Like, involve the drift a little bit more though. I felt like that really feels like Sonic in terms of him just like turning around corners and stuff like that, because you can't just stop on a drive and immediately go over to your left. Like, you can't constantly be able to do that all the time though. I feel like this is like the most natural Sonic probably felt in a daytime level, in a traditional sense for a 3D Sonic level, than I ever seen in the whole entire series though. I mean, maybe if you look at some of these more recent levels with like Sonic X Shadow Generations with the shadow stuff, maybe that might be the closest thing we had from it since though, but I still rest on this game having some of the best 3D levels, period though. Like, between the drifting, the sidestepping and stuff, and just being able to have a very thorough experience without you just going through and blasting through like a levels like as quick as like Sonic Colors was. Like, that was maybe a little bit too quick on some of them levels, I'll just say though. I do also like how you had the mission, so not only do you get to go through the whole entire level in its entirety though, but there's certain segments in there that allow you to get more medallions, in which you needed to have a certain amount of medals and stuff to be able to progress the story and go down a certain avenue track. So if you didn't have enough, that forced you to kind of go back through and replay some of these levels with certain different mission structures. So it kind of made you get a little bit better on while you're going through and playing through and progressing through this game, not just trying to just beat a level just to go fast to be fast though, because you got to collect these medallions along the way, which I heard it's a little bit easier doing in the Wii version than I think it is in the Xbox and the PlayStation versions though. I didn't honestly have any issues with it though, so I just love the heck out of the daytime levels. Now let's go ahead and talk about the nighttime levels, because that's where a lot of people start getting a little bit mixed on this game. Me personally, I was perfectly fine with this game. Remind you, I said I was playing the Wii version though, so that was like you hitting, moving your Wii remote, moving your nunchuk, hitting them in tandem or something like that for a grab or a sucker punch or like a ground pound or whatever though. I love that in its entirety because it just felt like I was like one with Sonic. Now I know, yes, you're in this Werehog form, a little bit different from past Sonic games and stuff. Yes, most Sonic games have their little bit of a gimmicks or something that makes each Sonic game feel unique though, but this one, man, no other Sonic games could hold a candle to this one right here though, because man, oh man, like, these Werehog stages stood out entirely. You're not meant to go through these levels and blast at it with full speed. No, they're a little bit slower pace, a little bit more meticulous. Yes, Werehog Sonic was able to do a little bit of a run, a little dash thing or whatever though, but he doesn't run nearly as fast as him in just his regular form though, because obviously in daytime levels, when the sun is showing, Sonic's perfectly himself. At night, when the sun happens to set, that's what causes his Werehog form to go through. So these levels, oh man, they take you a long hot second. Some levels might have been like 5-6ish minutes. Some levels I felt like, depending on what I was doing, I felt like on some levels I felt like it might have took me like 10 minutes or something, because there is a little bit of platforming up in here, but obviously a whole bunch of fights, and that brings up into question some of the musical choices, because every single time you get into battle, you got that classic thing with the dun 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 dun. Like, oh man, that always got me to turn. Oh man, that turned me on every single time. I ain't gonna lie. I was a kid whenever I was playing this game though, but I digress though. I love that theme to death though. Now, granted, if I were to go back and play Sonic Unleashed nowadays though, I mean, yes, that can get a little bit annoying. I know for a lot of people that wasn't necessarily like the hottest thing. They might have liked the soundtrack, but by the time you're done with the game, yeah, it might have got a little bit stale though. But hey, if Sega decided to go back through and remake this game or something like that, hey, they can do some little unique things with the battle thing though. But I'll talk about that later on though. But overall, I love the fact that you can kind of engage, get really into the Werehog fighting things though. And then obviously like you had these dark Gaia points or whatever though, so every time you beat an enemy it fills up your meter a little bit, so you're actually able to level up your character as well, which then also allow you to open up and learn different techniques. So you know, do different combinations of shaking the Wii remote or the nunchuk or doing them both at the same time, open up the floodgates for different combos and stuff that you're able to do. Something that the most fighting that you might have had within a Sonic game outside of like some other Sonic games, I think they did a little bit of fighting back in the past though, but in terms of like modern day Sonic, like the closest traditional fighting we had in quite some time though, and I really did thoroughly enjoy every single aspect of it though. So I can see why some people didn't, they want more of those daytime levels though, but hey, those nighttime ones, sometimes Sonic goes too fast for his own good. It is nice to be able to change up the pace and the traditional formula, what you're able to do with most Sonic games. You got to make some of these Sonic games feel a little bit different from each other, right? Like, got to make it feel a little different from SA2 or from Sonic Colors. Like, I just threw out a few of them right there, though. But that gives it a little bit of incentive to kind of make it stand on its own pillar, though. So overall, from the daytime levels as well as some of these nighttime levels, I enjoyed the heck out of every single one of these things. So now, Sega, y'all better have your eyes wide open though, because I seen what y'all did with Sonic Generations. That was a good hit. I saw what y'all did with Sonic Colors in the remake or remastered, what y'all did with that one. That wasn't accepted nearly as well because there were a little bit of flaws and stuff up in that version though. The next one y'all need to do, if y'all gonna go through a remake or remaster something, you need to do Sonic Unleashed. I'm telling you this right now, because some of these soundtracks though, like even the first level that you get to do, the daytime level in Sonic Unleashed, or that desert theme though, like, oh my gosh, the soundtracks are so great. And from what I've been hearing, the differences that you had within the Wii versions and how they were different from like the Xbox or the PlayStation versions, you can do a definitive edition with this that could combine nearly almost like all of the different unique levels that you have within the Wii ones and the Xbox/PlayStation ones and cram it all together. Now I know some of the things might have to change with like the medallion system and like how that operates in terms of how you go through and collecting, because I think in the Xbox PlayStation versions you have to actually collect the medals in the actual levels, whereas the Wii version, as long as you completed the challenge, that gave you the medal though. So they had to work out some kinks in terms of that though. But being able to have like both of those up in there, I would love the heck out of it though, because I hear so many good things being said about people going through and playing Sonic Unleashed with their Xbox Series X and be able to play that up to like 60 frames per second. I would love to do that though. That'll be the only reason why I would ever want to have an Xbox Series system. It's just for this one game itself though. I could definitely see it though. Man, I need to get rid of these stupid stickers. I hate this mess. That's a whole nother side tangent with GameStop and stuff with these silly old stickers though. But I digress though. But Sega, you need to get on that mess right now, because that's the next game I really do want to see thoroughly though. Because Sonic Unleashed is one of my favorites, up there with Sonic Adventure 2 in terms of 3D Sonic games though. But overall, I just love the heck out of it. I wish, you know, the Sonic characters, like, you know, like your Tails, your Amy, or your Knuckles and stuff, I wish the Sonic team was a little bit more involved outside of just having traditional talks here and there though. I mean, yeah, they were kind of along for the ride though, but I wish there was a little bit more interaction, a little bit more activity, kind of like you had with the Sonic Adventure games though. I feel like that might have been one thing that made this game a little bit better though. And then lastly, I would say that final boss theme, like, or the final boss theme as well as just the final boss. Like, I know it's like 3 different phases and stuff. I won't get too far up in it though, but man, oh man, if you played this game, you know, or especially the Wii version of it though, I can't say how many times I beat my head up against the wall, time and time and time again, trying to beat Dark Gaia though. But when I finally did it, it felt like one of the most things of all time. I definitely felt like Supersonic in that one instant right there. Definitely, whew, man, got me to kind of feel some kind of way about it though, because it felt like some of his punches was just hitting on a whole nother level though, because I never felt like I fought a boss that gigantic in scale and scope and had, like, you know, all of this stuff pitted out against you. Like, you literally saw some of them cutscenes and stuff and seen like the spread of Dark Gaia across the whole entire earth. Like, the scales were that high in this game, and I was there for every little bit of it though. So all between the cutscenes, the amazing different soundtracks that are up in there, the unique and really fun levels that you have for the daytime levels, and then also the nighttime levels, and the fact that you know, you knew Sonic was fast, but it didn't really feel like it, at least in this one game. It felt like you had a little bit more of exploration and stuff like that. It's just some fun old times. And I heard in that Xbox version, you actually have like a hub world that you're able to walk around with Sonic and stuff. You didn't have that in the Wii version. You just have dialogue menus and stuff. So, you know, in that definitive edition, take some of the best elements from both and put them all together, Sega. Like, gosh dang it, you need to quit tripping over here. I'm telling y'all, quit tripping over here. Y'all should be making a lot more money than what y'all currently are right now. All right, I digress. That's gonna be it. I'm gonna ramble more and more about the goods and the bads of what's the goods about this game and the bads of what Sega's doing recently though. But y'all gotta let me know down in the comment section down below what all that you think about Sonic Unleashed. Have you played this game recently, or do you remember playing it very fondly in the past? Depending on your platforms of choice, that kind of probably tempered or kind of changed your expectations, or maybe your nostalgia factor on this game is depending on which version you had though. But at least for me, on the Wii version, I enjoyed every single gosh dang second of this game though. But that's gonna basically do it in terms of this one collection reflection video right here. So if you really like this video, make sure you're going to hit that like button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell to stay up to date on all things video game related I feel like talking about and discussing. So remember y'all, until whatever video I make next, see y'all.